gentlemen, we are live with Van Hearth, Tavern Hero Tournament number 2, Spacecraft, Burnaby, BC. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good, Matt. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good. We're gonna go right into our first game. This is gonna be the quarterfinals between Bocharaenai and AllanDang.
Right.
So you can see the Bocharaenai. Some kind of zoo warlock, and on the other side, AllanDang is running sort of a control type warrior.
The rest of the Bocharaenai lineup is paladin.
Yeah, very interesting here. Bocharaenai curving out quite nicely.
Are you my master?
Right on the first step. Absolutely looks like AllanDang doesn't have to play except for fire.
His warrior is also running paladin. And has was banned by Bocharaenai.
I mean,
Do you hear its call?
Most people banning out
Listen.
You
have
already
lost. Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Closely.
Things like that coming out right now. Turn 4 for AllanDang to contest with that bronze spear that is going to prove a little bit of a headache.
I have an axe to grind.
Are we going to see it on the brand? Probably, because it does get the double battle cry.
My seal for Argent!
Hopefully that should be better. For that grand bronze spirit.
Looks like Flow back in Bocharaenai's hand here. Throwing down the Void Walker and then getting boss. Again, trying to buff up this twin Emperor Veclar going into turn 7, trying to put as much pressure on the board as he can. AllanDang is
I have no time for games.
this situation right here.
We see the Arcanite Reaper in AllanDang's hand. Not a weapon we've commonly seen before in competitive play, mostly in a Fates Warrior.
Feast of souls.
Now looking at the depth fight. You reckon?
I believe so. I mean, it's going to be 1 more mana for 1 more attack. But I think that Warrior is the class that does use its face a lot for board clearing, as well as sometimes going face. Interesting. Thinking about the execute on this Imp King boss.
I do like that. That way, AllanDang can trade performance and play the Ravaging Duel. Damaging everything and stealing
With Veclar Emperor, the twin. If I say it so correctly. Interesting. I'd really like to see Bocharaenai.
I have no time for games.
He realizes that the warrior from AllanDang doesn't have too many options, has been playing them.
and has been seeing the execute, sorry. Already.
Alan, I really like to play from AllanDang actually, because so honest for Bocharaenai, he kills immediately, and he's pushing lethal because he does have the
Why do you
AllanDang.
My seal for
Top
Argent.
kind of knocked up a lot, which we see does. AllanDang is putting himself in
If you drew an activator for that Grommash Hellscream, that would have been game there. Luckily, having that extra taunt gives
Bocharaenai playing the Argent. This is awesome play, obviously. Sequencing on point from one of the top players in the world, AllanDang. Not taking anything away from Bocharaenai, but I can imagine we would see the Cocoon here. It's not really a gamble, but as he's testing what his Argent is.
Oh,
if it
not
is
enough.
not enough, that's gonna be game. That's gonna be game number one. AllanDang taking it on the back of his brownish Hellscream. Looks like Bocharaenai's. Looks like his Cocoon just didn't get enough damage there. Really interesting. Quite a fast game, to be honest.
Very
game
fast.
number one.
Very fast.
What do you think about that?
Missing that
Bocharaenai.
one damage on the Grommash was devastating, and that entirely won that game.
Absolutely. So going into game two, what do you think we're gonna see here? Bocharaenai is left with its Hunter, which we've seen throughout the tournament that it is gonna be a death rattle.
It's
Hunter
a very strong
of,
death rattle.
It is. It is. And AllanDang with the Warrior Paladin Shaman. See what they queue in here.
Anduin
And we
versus
see
Adren.
going in
My
with
hammer
that
burns
Paladin.
with holy fire.
The
I
light
mean,
shall bring victory.
Going into the last two classes from Bocharaenai, the Hunter and the Priest, I think that queuing into this Paladin here is probably his best matchup to even the series.
And we see a Dragon Priest. No Cthulhu Priest. Not really the typical control priest we've been seeing before standard shift, but all dragons.
Yeah.
With that Ysera in hand.
I mean, some people are testing out the new control priest, especially in this tournament. We've seen a lot of it. I think the statistic was, I think we saw something like 9 or 10 out of the 39 players bringing priest, but only a fair bit of them.
me?
And it has served Bocharaenai well this tournament, making it all the way to the
Mind if
quarterfinals.
I roll knee?
No feet. You can't just brush off.
Absolutely. We can see another Wormless agent coming up from Bocharaenai. Electing to go with the heal instead. Interesting play, trying to maybe hold a few cards because perhaps some has some information on AllanDang, maybe knows that it's a healing paladin.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, through all the paladin matchups that I saw today, at least, I did see only the Healadin Paladin with N'Zoth featuring the 1 or 2 verses.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We've seen, now that the metagame is 4 days, having a tournament like this, players not only from BC but across the world, seeing the interesting deck choices that they bring, it's been an interesting day to say the least.
Mocking me?
Some decks that everyone thought would be doing so good, and decks like Blue, which were dominant before the standard shift, are still dominant now. And we see AllanDang hovering that Twilight Summoner, the 1/1 from the new set, summons a 5/5 on deck row.
Yeah, some players are calling it the new piloted shredder. I don't know if you can really put in the same class as that extremely powerful 4-drop as we've seen for the last about a year from Hearthstone, but we'll see how it goes. Electing to just throw, he is going with the Twilight Summoner, clearing off that straight away, and I think now that Bocharaenai has seen this, he's probably got to be thinking that this has something to do with himself.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Getting the 1/1 out has to signal this off.
Yeah, you really don't see this a lot in play, unless it wouldn't be in a dog deck.
Unless it was, yeah.
I suppose like some tempo decks can run it,
Especially
but
with, like,
again,
the Defender of Argus or a Sunter.
absolutely.
Quick, easy taunt that you have to remove. Almost a mini egg.
Almost. As we're gonna see. Dang.
Okay. Alright.
Reporting for duty.
Mind if I roll knee?
There we go. And we see the Twilight Summoner get popped, pulling the 5/5 out from the depths of it.
Yeah, Azure Drake, interesting thought process here with the trade. I suppose he wants to get the max value out of the Azure Drake. He knows that it can't get cleared easily on board. The 1/1 can't clear it. We don't see Coghammer anymore because Coghammer's been taken out of the game. So Bocharaenai just
That Shadowward Death off the top deck.
that was pretty big.
That is pretty big.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that 5/5 would have just killed that Drake, and Bocharaenai would have had a little bit of a bad time coming back from that.
Yeah, let's look at AllanDang here. He's looking okay. He does have a lot of tech cards right now. And by tech cards, I mean a lot of reactive cards, a lot of Consecration, Aldor, Quality, sort of cards that you need a little bit more space to work around, and it doesn't look like he wants to expend too much of it on the Azure and the Northsire Cleric that we see on board from Bocharaenai right now.
Yeah, the Twilight. Oh, sorry. The Wild Pyromancer quality being the easiest full board clear in the game, and being used not with the equality, and being answered with the Twilight Corrupted.
Sounds good. Looks like all of our audio issues have been fixed. Sorry about that, everybody. Back to the game right now. Action is gonna be on AllanDang. Once again, rocking that control/heal paladin. As we can see, the
Corrupted Heal Bot.
Interesting.
I like it. It's a 6/6 body that heals your opponent, but the goal of the deck is not to really smart the opponent down, but to control to that late game where you can have that Tyrion play N'Zoth and then get another Tyrion in play.
Absolutely. It's sort of like one of those middle game cards that works the same way as Zombie Chow. In the early game, you play Zombie Chow, it doesn't matter that you want to heal your opponent, just the 1 or 2 turns that you can keep the board in your favor and then start developing for only 1 mana. We sort of see floating onto this new Corrupted Heal bot. Same sort of idea.
I'm wondering if it will catch more popularity or if it's just going to be a thing for the moment. It seems really strong at this moment, but I'm not sure how it will be developed into as the lists get more and more refined. This is only the 4th day into this new season.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we might see this deck completely change, but I believe at this moment it is a very, very powerful choice that has been serving a lot of people well this tournament.
Yeah, we can see the Chillmall come down from Bocharaenai. We gotta look at AllanDang's hand here. He does have the equality, but the question always looms when you see Chillmall on board. Does he have a dragon? We can see he does, and most of the time,
What
a dragon on Nixia. I know you're itching to say a couple words over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is a card not a lot of us have seen in a long time outside of Arena. Great.
Absolutely. Fun fact, that was my first legendary ever. Just want to pop that in there. Onyxia.
Nice.
So a little bit of old love. Got a little bit of old love for Onyxia. We do see the Chillmont getting taken care of by AllanDang, basically resetting the board. Still has his 9 mana to work with. The opponent Bocharaenai only has a 1/1 on board, electing to go with the heal and resetting his hand. Understanding that this is a very controlled matchup between the heal paladin and the control dragon priest. I really like this play from AllanDang.
And AllanDang picking up that Tyrion as well. Very powerful card when played in the right circumstances. Getting a free Tyrion from the Zoth is nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah, we also see from Bocharaenai, as you said, the Tyrion, but Bocharaenai being a seasoned veteran, a high legend player that we see every season, is keeping that in tune. The far left of his hand, he knows something fishy is going to come out eventually from this paladin, and that that is basically his get out of jail free, if
And
we can phrase
use
it that.
the equality combo with the Wild Pyromancer, clearing up the Ysera, which normally is a little bit of a pain to deal with for
It
a lot
is.
of classes outside of hard removal such as Execute and Entomb.
Yeah, we don't see that. We don't see Ysera being easily taken care of, except in that situation. Sometimes you see the rare situation where the Shrinkmeister comes in like a ball, but that's probably maybe 1 out of every 200
Even
games.
now, I haven't seen, out of all the games I've played and seen of this new format, I haven't seen that happen at all. Mainly because Shrinkmaster being gone.
Put your faith
As
in
we
the
see
light.
Tyrion
Oh.
coming down, that's gonna get entombed. I would think that
100%.
the Tyrion's gonna get entombed. The 5/4 is just gonna go fit. He could paint it if he really wants to.
Could paint it.
He could paint it, but
How
I
do you
think
feel about the whole Blackwing Technician?
Blackwing Technician in this situation, not too sure. I think that yeah, it looks like Bocharaenai is gonna like to go with the Shadow Word team here. I don't really mind this, you know, keeping board control, keeping pressure on AllanDang. Once again, I just said this a couple of minutes ago, but these are two very seasoned players. These are not just people from a local tavern here. AllanDang plays high in last year's World Championship qualifiers, and Bocharaenai is a consistent top 100 legendary player. We are watching gameplay from two of the best players in the world right now.
This is going to be a very, very close match.
Absolutely, we can see the Unzoth coming out from AllanDang. We're not. I'm not sure
AllanDang.
if he has AllanDang, as we do see, is ahead 1-0.
Yeah, winning with that warrior from the previous game. Warrior. A little bit of and then the Zoth comes out.
And now Bocharaenai is just in a he's in a
Facing down
sticky
a lot.
situation. I mean, where's his light bomb? Light bomb is gone with the standard rotation. As you can see, classes like the heal paladin and everybody being a little bit more face oriented now that they don't have to worry about that light bomb. They can build a board a little bit more, and Bocharaenai is going to be pushed into a very dark corner here.
That's for sure. But if Bocharaenai does stabilize from this N'Zoth, I think he has the game. With most of the threats gone, the Tyrion being entombed, there's no more threat of Tyrion. The only threat I believe left in AllanDang's deck would be the Regulars, which a lot of players are running.
Is he running the heal right now, or is he attacking right now? I'm not entirely.
I'm not too sure.
We have seen Ragnarok. So we're seeing the Keeper of Alderman on the Onyxia Consecration coming down and clearing board. I mean, this has been, needless to say, a very back and forth match right now.
AllanDang just having a very, very commanding board. The 6/6 disrupted heal bot moves off, and one of the 1/1s pops.
Yeah, the priest from Bocharaenai is feeling very sad right now, not having a light bomb.
Oh, light bombs.
Now that it's gone.
Very gone. No,
I think he has to be hoping for a Shadow Word Death. I mean, Cabal, Shadow Priest, #1 can't be played, wouldn't really impact the board too much.
A little bit too late for that.
Yeah, looks like this might even just be a concede here from Bocharaenai.
AllanDang having lethal on board, so that's game.
Yeah, we're gonna see
Well played.
instant concede there from Bocharaenai. Transition back. So
now we have AllanDang just left with the Shaman.
I mean,
Very
Bocharaenai has put up a valiant effort, and especially in that last game, it was very back and forth. Both players filling the board up nicely, poking their opponents, understanding that it is a very control-oriented matchup. But in the end, AllanDang just coming out on top once again.
What would you like to see Bocharaenai start with to get this reverse sweep going? He does have the Warlock the hunter, and the priest. The priest could do some work, but I personally think we're gonna see a warlock come out.
Yeah, I mean, the warlock is one of the new. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Looks like he's gonna go elect to go with priest again. Once again, I don't really mind this because the priest has a lot of removals. It all depends, I think, greatly on the aggro shaman's opening.
Yeah. And we also, with the dragons, there are so many taunts in this dragon priest list. So many taunts.
Absolutely.
The Twilight Guardian being that 3/6 taunt, the Wormrest Agents being the 2/4s, and then Chillmaw, that's already 5 taunts from the deck.
It looks like AllanDang's gonna elect to go with the Surf Finley right away.
Not the greatest choices. Lesser Heal, the Armor Up, and Dagger Mastery.
I mean, I can imagine going against the priest. He might actually want the lesser heal here because he's gonna know that he's going against. He is thinking about it, as you can see. It's either gonna be the lesser heal or the armor.
And we see the Lesser Heal. And
Yeah.
pointing out the Scorpion Infiltrator.
Okay, interesting. I feel that if AllanDang would have gotten a better draw off of the hero power, he might not have coined out the organ. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that entirely.
Yeah.
Just a very underwhelming. Usually you want to be looking for either the Warlock hero power, the Hunter hero power,
Or the druid hero power.
or the Druid. Personally, in this matchup, I would be looking for that Warlock hero power. Since you're not
Yeah.
really going to be looking to die from burst from this priest.
Absolutely.
Having seen it be a dragon priest, the only burst that Bocharaenai really does have is Holy Nova and as well as his Blackwing Disruptors.
Yeah, it's interesting that AllanDang chooses to go with the Phantom Juggler here, clearing in his entire board, and he's gonna feel a little bit sad with the curve coming out from Bocharaenai, instantly picking up the Blackwing Technician, throwing it down. Next turn we're seeing the Twilight Guardian, then next turn we're seeing the Blackwing Corruptor. AllanDang is gonna be sad nonetheless.
It's not going to be quite a 3-0 sweep for AllanDang. Unfortunately, it might, and if Bocharaenai can do a reverse sweep, this is certainly how you would do it.
Absolutely.
And using that lesser heal on the Finley, not letting his minions die, and both being at 1 health. Oh, he doesn't have an activator for this for this Twilight Guardian though, so it's just going to be a 2/6.
It is going to be a 2/6, but I think that it is still going to give the board presence that's going to be needed to put a little bit of scare back into AllanDang's deck and his board. So we can see the Doom Hammer.
And another Worgen Infiltrator.
There's very interesting tech choices here by AllanDang, bringing 2 Worgens in his aggro shaman, something that we haven't seen at the end of the wild format, but supposing that he's thinking that something else isn't going to be in the new meta, electing to go with double. What do you think about that? Double Worgen.
I like it, but it seems a little risky.
A little risky, especially if you pick up sort of late game. You're looking for your damage spells, you're looking for your Doom Hammers and your weapons, and you pick up maybe the second Worgen.
I'd be interested to see what the rest of AllanDang has. If he's running... I know a few players have cut the thing from below, the 5/5 taunt that reduces itself by 1 mana every time you summon a totem. Didn't see that many today.
Absolutely, yeah.
I only saw maybe 2 or 3 of them.
As we can see, instantly, Bocharaenai clearing the board from AllanDang very clean and efficiently with the Holy Nova. But as you were saying, the thing from below, some people are thinking about different decks with the thing from below and the totem golems and things like that. And some people are electing to go with the standard aggro shaman.
Oh, and another taunt comes up.
That's a pretty big draw, I gotta say, from Bocharaenai there. I mean, this is one of the worst matchups for an aggro shaman against any priest, against a dragon priest or just a regular control priest. I mean, they have too many taunts, they have too many heals and control cards. to deal with the shaman's aggression.
Oh, and we're gonna see that Shadow Pain right on the totem golem.
And
Feels bad, man.
we're
Feels
gonna
bad.
see a stone cold emotion on the camera from AllanDang. I really like this, just realizing, okay, yes, I think we don't see a lot of emotion from AllanDang because he is seasoned enough to know that this isn't a favored matchup. The shaman has to draw a little bit better than the priest in the early game for the tables to flip a little bit.
And if you're AllanDang, do you want to be? Would you just concede here to try and hide a little bit of your tech options? Since Bocharaenai knowing that AllanDang is this is an aggro shaman, this is no mid-range shaman.
I don't think that it is 100% over, but I think it's probably 90% over. AllanDang, another thing that I really like in tournaments, especially longer tournaments like this, is trying to last as long as you can. So maybe he does hide a few tech choices, but he can see the maximum amount of cards in Bocharaenai. Even though if Bocharaenai wins this game, he can maybe see the sort of ideas that he's working with and some of the synergies. So then going into the other games, you can sort of have an idea of what line of play Bocharaenai is trying to go with.
We see the double rock spreader weapon. That would hurt. If he had Lava Burst, that would be quite a lot.
Yeah, it's really interesting how he doesn't do the Rock Fighter here, at least one of them, because Rock Fighter one time is 10 damage. Rock Fighter twice is only 16 damage. 18 damage. So I would have rather like to see one. I mean, I'm not really sure what he's saving it for here.
16 damage. It's a two damage weapon +3/+3.
8 plus 8 is 16. I think we're getting there.
There we go.
We are getting there.
Play the Faceless, the 4 mana 7/7 Overload 2. That, I have to say, at least in my opinion, has got to be the strongest card introduced.
Absolutely. I really have to agree. Before coming to this tournament, I was playtesting this a little bit. Found it not too consistent, but AllanDang has proven it more than once today, winning with it, I think, through 5 out of his 6 rounds. Only the one round that he lost, he ended up losing with the shaman, so it is proving to be very consistent, especially in this new tournament standard.
Having that Warlock band, those Warlock and the Shaman being the two most popular bands of today.
Yeah, I mean, again, what I've really liked about today is that the diversity of the decks. We've seen all kinds of every single deck because we're not used to seeing the secret paladin and the regular aggro shaman and the patron warrior, things like that we've seen in the past. We're in a very new state of game coming into the standard format, and I think it's going to be exciting for a while, not just this month. I think for the next couple months, it's going to be very exciting to see new and innovative decks coming out from everybody.
And AllanDang with the BM Lava Burst to the face, knowing that this is over.
Absolutely. Bocharaenai stopping the clean sweep, winning with the priest. I like it. It was really well played by both players.
Very well played.
What do you think? I mean, looking at Bocharaenai, he's got the hunter, he's got the priest. What are you thinking going against this sort of aggro shaman with the 2 Twilight?
So we just won with the priest, so he has his hunter and his warlock left. And let's go right into it. We see Bocharaenai choosing to go with the warlock. And having Cthulhu's Chosen, as well as the Imp Gang boss and the Dark Peddler. Throwing away the 2 Cthulhu's Chosen. And, ooh, Flame Imp. The
Looks
number
like
1/1 drop.
a pretty interesting build here. Usually we're seeing just the regular non-Cthulhu, with sort of the ramp cards that we've seen with the Dark Peddler and the Imp Gang boss, but it's really interesting for him to throw in the Cthulhu in this style of zoo deck.
And Bocharaenai also having the Shadow Bolt. Not a very not a very well.
Not a
very
card
much
that we see a lot in the current metagame, but nonetheless not a bad choice in any lineup.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Alright. And Coinage Gang Boss seems like the strongest play to come out here.
Yeah, just again putting on a lot of pressure onto AllanDang, and that's really, again, I've said this a couple times, this is the biggest thing that you need against the Aggro Shaman. You have to stop their pressure early. You need to make sure that you clear their threats, or at least put your own threats that force them to clear.
And Bocharaenai choosing to do that Dark Peddler. Oh, and not the draws you want to be seeing.
Yeah, feels bad. Goldshire Footman, MLG plays coming out.
If they want to be looking for power overwhelming, even Soulfire.
Yeah, Soulfire, mostly power overwhelming, maybe a Void Caller depending on the situation, but in this game against the Aggro Shaman, I'd really like to see that, because now that the Bocharaenai, the Warlock from him, already has the Imp Gang boss on board, you can use a power overwhelming on one of these 1/1 imps and just flip the board back in your favor, and like I said before, force AllanDang to start trading into your minions. Stop that face damage as fast as you can.
And choosing to use that Totem Golem. Not the most impact on the board immediately, but that 3/4 body is. Ooh, there we go.
Interesting. I like these trades from AllanDang. He's giving himself maximum value. As you see, interesting. See AllanDang's expression still stone cold on the cast.
I can confirm he is moving. It's
He
not
is.
just
He
flat
is
photo.
moving. It is. It's just lots of concentration coming in from him. We can see a little bit more animation on Bocharaenai, but AllanDang going with the stone cold play of the Worgen Infiltrator and the Feral Spirits.
Oh,
That's a
good draw.
card.
That is a good card.
That is a card. So it's interesting to see what he's going to play with here. He has a couple options. I don't really think we're going to see the naked Cthulhu's Chosen. I think we're either going to see a Disciple of Cthulhu and a Hero Power, or a Defender of Rocks. I can't really see, or even the tap. And yeah, it looks like he is going to go with the first play. I mean, just playing a naked Cthulhu's Chosen on this board just seems like a bad idea, because the Shaman can just go through the 1/2 taunt and just keep pushing face. He's not too worried about the 4/2.
Especially having that Rockfighter weapon and Doom Hammer.
Picking up the Doom Hammer. Hammer.
Hammer.
It's not
there
a hammer.
we go.
It's the Doom Hammer off of the top. In combination with that Rockfighter weapon, 10 damage from hand.
And another Disciple of Cthulhu off the top, giving that Cthulhu an extra 2/2 and clearing the board while playing another Imp Gang bonus.
Also, another thing to note is buffing up this Cthulhu to 10 mana. Sorry, 10 attack and defense, which is most of the activators that we're seeing from the classes these sort of days. If your Cthulhu has 10 attack, gain 10 life, or gain 10 armor, and that's a big thing to note as well.
For that dang pesky Druid card that gains 5 life, saw quite a lot of 4/15s today.
Absolutely.
Grand draws
The 4/10s, the 4/15s, absolutely. Quite annoying to deal with, especially with the exclusion of Iron Big Owl in mostly all of the decks today, and with the Keeper of the Grove being silenced as well.
Bocharaenai having that Cthulhu, having the golden Cthulhu.
The Golden Cthulhu as well. Thinking about AllanDang's plays here, he does have Lightning Bolt. Not quite the Earthshock that he's looking for.
And the Tusker. Let's see where that falls.
Tusker. Picking up the Stone Claw.
The taunt.
It's the taunt one.
It is the taunt
can
one.
Can we agree on that? It's the taunt one.
It is
It's
the
the
taunt
Stone
one.
Claw. Coming out not too bad.
Not too bad. The best ones for this matchup either being the Manatide Totem or the Totem Guard. The Manatide grabbing you extra cards so you can pull through your deck quicker, grab those Doom Hammers and Rockfighters.
Your burst damage, bursting your opponent down from 0. I love this. Black Knight, is he gonna Black Knight and then hero power? Or is he gonna choose not to hero power?
AllanDang has lethal in hand. If one minion survives, that is lethal.
I don't think that Bocharaenai would be leaving anything on board. To be
Not at
honest,
this stage.
to be honest with you, these are not the type of players to make
And
these sort of
it
mistakes.
doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter. The lightning bolt off the top with the rock biter and the
he
lava
beat the totem. AllanDang missed lethal. He's one off right now. Never totem first.
Never.
Always count your ways out.
That was definitely. I don't think it's gonna change this game.
not
Like
gonna
Cthulhu
matter.
can't come down. Cthulhu's chosen is gonna make a difference. We're gonna see our hero pap and a concede from Bocharaenai.
So close, yet so far. Very, very close games, both from Bocharaenai and AllanDang, playing these matchups exactly.
We can
how
see
they should.
Bocharaenai sitting back and AllanDang not visibly too upset, missing the lethal. That is going to be this quarter-final match, going to AllanDang with a score of 3-1. Really interesting. We're gonna see the fireworks come down from Bocharaenai. He's gonna hope that AllanDang once again misses lethal, I suppose. I mean, you can only
could
he
attack
could.
one of his minions twice.
I mean, he could misclick. No, we
That's
do
not
see
obvious.
it. That's it. Players getting up, handshaking.